Oh, I just wasn't paying attention.
That's it.
I was not following this conversation. Goodbye.
Hello and welcome. My name is Alex Gonzalez. With me today is my good old friend, J.E.
Hey, that's me.
And please remember that we are not game devs. We talked about Fire Emblem more than we talked about Elden Ring.
Yeah.
Like over that course.
Well, I mean, I think there's just more, because Elden Ring, it's like what you've done, but Fire Emblem's so wordy. You know what I mean? There's just so much more just to discuss, because it's like just talking. It's a visual novel.
No, most definitely. But those are not the RPGs, that we're playing today. Today we are creating something new. Every week, we are not game devs. We imagine a brand new video game idea from our minds. Join in on the fun, be creative, and if you have your own unique video game idea or want to patch ours, write into @poundgames@gmail.com. And today is my turn to present We Are Not Game Devs' 216th idea. What I have is just the beginning of the game in my head, and then we'll go from there, and I have like a kind of suggestion. So I'm highly inspired by Squid Games. So imagine that there's just this masked culture, and they're all masked, and I want it to be a different language. I don't know what language it's going to be, but just a made up one. And they're all wearing suits, and they all have masks, and they're all working. And then you're kind of going through, and in the beginning of the game, you're dragging like a dead body, and you throw it into the furnace, and you see two other masked people, and they do signs, and you go up with them. And then eventually, like, you're going, and as like you look over to the right as you're following, but you're the last one, you'll see maybe some blood spill under a door, and you'll check, and you'll find like someone dead, and they have like a golden mask on. So then you take the golden mask off their body, and you put it on. And then like you start walking away, and then you find out that you're a leader, and then they bring you out, and then like you have screens everywhere. And what I want this game to be is where you become the boss of this whole organization as you wander in, and then you start learning how to direct people. And it's going to be a game where you direct people, and like you're trying to keep up like a facility of like torturing and like doing different like bad things to your captives, but also trying to make it entertaining as possible. And then you also have this other background gameplay where people are trying to kill you within the organization to ascend ranks. What do you think?
Got it. I had an idea, and then you took a wild turn near the end of that explanation where I didn't expect this to go.
Actually, I'm no solid about the gameplay. I just want it to be where you're a boss and you're directing an evil organization, and two, that there's other people within the organization trying to kill you, just like how you saw what happened to your former person.
How about we change? What do you think about this in terms of game direction? Instead of it being a Five Nights at Freddy's type of game, what if we make it more of like a Dishonored sort of game where you get the golden mask, and then, or not like Dishonored, more like kind of like Dishonored, but also more like Watch Dogs, where now you could kind of send with the golden mask, and it will have like RPG elements where you could like upgrade new powers with your mask or whatever, but you could like send directions to other people's masks, and then they'll see in their mask that they got a direction from their leader's mask, and so they have to go and do it.
Ooh, like almost like an adult Pikmin, but with more complications, right? Wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah, kind of. But I kind of imagine it like in Watch Dogs, or like let's take like Deathloop, for example, where you're like sneaking around, and then you see someone in front of you, and then you pretty much are like, I want you to look the other way. And so in this game, you'll tell them to look the other way, but in Deathloop, you would like hack something nearby, and then they'll start walking that way. So it'll be kind of like that is how I was thinking. And in terms of the language, I think it would be cool if we implement something kind of like what Tunic did, but to a lesser degree. I didn't play Tunic, so I don't know exactly what I'm talking about here, but I get the gist of it, where on their masks, the first opening of the game was just kind of play itself out, and you don't really have hands on anything. And you'll see the mask flicker and have like different symbols and stuff. And then when a symbol comes up, you open a door, and then when a different symbol comes up, like an X, we don't have to be that obvious, but an X, he'll be like, pushes you back, like, no, you can't do it. And so you slowly start learning what these symbols mean on their masks, and the different symbols will mean like a different thing. Like, yes, you're good. No, you can't. Left, right. It's that, like, search the bathroom or search your files or something. Like, there'll be like icons that the player will eventually start learning what the meanings of them are. And then maybe throughout the game, you're not talking to them and getting the information. You're seeing two masked people interact, seeing the flashes, and then you already know what they're going to do just by watching their masks flip, being like, where are you going to go? I'm going here. It shows like a picture of, like, I don't know, maybe all the rooms have like symbols on them, and then it'll be like that room symbol, and it'll be like, cool, I'm going here. And then you'll know where those two guards are going to go, that type of thing.
Yeah, that'll be cool. Especially if as you learn the language, you also learn what the fuck this organization's doing.
Right.
Where before you were just like, what's happening here? What am I the boss of?
And I guess in my version of the game, the goal is you to sneak around this facility, telling these people where to go and what to do. And then that'll have like a direct impact on where all the other NPCs will be doing. So like if you tell this character to go to this room and do whatever they're supposed to do in that room, it'll affect something that's happening in another area because that person left their post to go do something, type of thing, right? And then you can follow them and go see what they're going to do. And then, yeah, if you follow them, it's like to go torture some random person or to go do this random thing. And then maybe you could like set some of those stuff up, kind of like a Hitman style-esque, or I guess Deathloop even style-esque, where you could like go to a room, put someone in it, or set up a trap there, and then go tell someone to go to that room, and then it goes off. You could like set those type of scenarios up in this game, for example.
And I think eventually towards endgame, you're just going to be able to command 3 people to use their guns to shoot other people.
Right. Kind of like the hallucination arrow in like most Western RPGs.
Yeah, the poison dart arrow.
The hallucination dart. What's up? No.
Hey, buddy. Ouch! And then he dies, and you're like, why is it that they yell that way when it's one of their allies?
Yeah.
Most definitely. This game's got to look good. I think this game's got to have really cool graphics because it's going to take place in one spot. No one's really talking. So we got to make it like very stylized and detailed oriented. What do you think here? I'm thinking like shadows, ray tracing for internal lights.
Yeah, I think the whole daylight. 9 yards. In my head, also another game I haven't played, but I know the gist of it. It looks kind of like what Control would look like.
I haven't played that either.
Yeah,
so the source reference I think is like clean internal rooms. Yeah, I think is all I've seen.
Just realistic graphics, looks nice, up to par with all the modern current gen in terms of tech and graphics, ray tracing and all that.
I do want the screen to be not like Control where it's like a third person, like far back. I do want it to be like from the waistline where like maybe even first person.
In my head, it's first person and you'll see like a bunch of data on your screen, kind of like how Cyberpunk did it, where it's like, it has to do with the game. Your UI is your mask, right? And you are seeing through this mask and you're getting all this information on your UI, but it's because the mask is giving it to you in game type of thing.
Yeah, and I think your mask has a unique ability to scan other people's masks and get data.
Yeah. And essentially learn about anyone by looking at them, and also being able to see certain information about where they're going to go, what they do. Maybe you could even see like time clocks, but in the vision of this person's going to be here.
Oh, like when their shift's almost done. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like maybe some kind of like way that, like I see what you're saying, like a depleting time clock where like, oh, they're about to move. There's about to be a shift change.
Yeah. Or like holograms showing like someone's going to be here in 10 seconds. Like someone's walking this direction type of thing because of how the shifts work. I guess there would also have to be around this facility kind of like consoles that you could enter into, and so the player could get a bit more information and change the game a bit more fine-tuned, where there's like text, and then you could be like, I don't know, send like, this will be kind of like where you're going originally, where you could like see multiple where all your units are, where the bad guys are, and kind of like Pikmin around there.
And I think there's going to be a main story too, where maybe your mask is going to be an internal character that talks to you and then gives you directions on what to do.
Maybe there's someone in the mask and eventually it's leading you to wherever that person's located. Kind of like, I don't know. This is one that I have seen that you probably haven't seen, which is a deep cut reference, but shit, I don't remember the name of the show actually now that I think about it, but it was like in the X-Men universe. I don't remember what it's called. Legion.
Oh.
Legion.
Yep. No.
Yeah. It was essentially, there was a person in this dude's head that he thought was crazy. He was crazy, but then it was leading him to go find that person. In the end, it turned out that that person was evil. But this mask will like be the voice in your head trying to help you. And at the end, you like reach the voice in your head type of thing, and you meet them, and it turns out they're the mastermind behind everything that's going on.
I like it. What's the aesthetic going to be? What do you think that they're going to be dressing up like, and what do you think their masks are going to look like?
I mean, you said Squid Game, so I immediately thought onesie suits that are like kind of like industrial, and then like just like a LED mask kind of thing from like.
I was thinking more like black on black tuxedos.
Okay.
That are blacked out, and then they have a black ski mask on top, and then their mask sits on top of that. And I wanted their mask to be like LED, but like different shapes. And then depending on the rank, the tuxedo also changes. Where maybe like as you start going up, there's different colors from like like bronze to silver to gold and then diamond.
Yeah. If we do that, then I feel like the mask should also change by rank.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Yeah. If we go that direction, what if there's like a motif, like spades, clubs, hearts, and diamonds and stuff like that?
Now this is making me want to go and just do like a casino, like a really corrupt casino that you're running. And I guess that's what it is, right? And people are betting on
the human it's a casino, but they're not playing roulette and card games. They're
doing it for humans, like trafficking and
fighting or like who can kill each other first with a pencil type of thing, like those type of random shits. I like that. Yeah, it's a casino for human.
That's what you eventually find out, like as you start getting into it.
It's like a fight club, but people bet on these people. Mm-hmm. What is the? Yeah, it's Hunger
and you
games,
have different games,
small scale.
And you have like you'll have one where it's like Gladiator, where they're fighting beasts. You have another one where they're fighting each other. You have another one where it's Survivor. You drop them all off on an island and you just watch.
Yeah. There'll be all the there will be that battle royale one where it's like Hunger Games, where we drop 20 kids onto this island and they go do their thing, and then there's other stuff. The game will have to make it so you have to interact with these somehow. Maybe you could we can make them all actual playable, gambleable games.
I think it's going to be one of those things where you'll bring it up like in a cutscene, when you're doing your boss things, the game will come up and you'll make certain decisions in the game. And then that'll be like your boss, technically, quote unquote, scenes where you're going to be seeing what the actual organization does. You know what I'm talking about? Where you're going to have your own boss duties.
Sure. Yeah.
And that's where you can see the different games that are offered and how to like interact with them.
Do you think we'll have the option for you to actually play the game, like bet on the people and stuff?
I think you could bet on the people, and then you could do different things, like in the Hunger Games when they brought up the cornucopia, or like they introduced gas or fire. You'll be able to mess with the game as well. But I don't know what game rating this is going to get if you start setting kids on fire.
Exactly. I mean, they could all be adults, like Squid Game.
Yeah. They're 18. All of them are just 18.
There's also the facility itself. If it's a casino, but it's like a black market casino, I'm assuming it's going to be like in a labyrinth of dark halls that we can decorate nicely. Like maybe they have carpets and like nice paintings on the walls or something, but they're just corridors that lead you to these rooms because it has to be kind of secretive and not open floor plan like a casino would be. But maybe there'll be like different areas of the place where, like, if you want to go see the gladiator fights, it's over here. If you want to go see the survival fights, it's over here. If you want to go see the one-on-one fights, it's over here. If you want to go see, then there's all those different sections. And then there's one main hub where that's where the drinking happens, socialization. You go there to like mingle with the higher up people, right? And then all these corridors and stuff is where you'll be seeing all the suits and masked people around. And there will be some in the social hub as well. But exploring the facility, it'll be a lot of corridors to like small rooms that have like some main attraction happening, and also one major room where all the lights are on and it's bright and there's people drinking and talking and stuff.
Okay, yeah, that works.
In terms of the person, sorry, go ahead.
Do you want there to be sub-lieutenants too, where there's like another squad of different unique masks, or do you just like because you know how there's the different suits and stuff?
Yeah, I think there could be like special units,
a king, a queen.
Yeah,
like I'm talking about like the face cards.
Yeah, I think there could be special units, Joker, aces, and then they'll have their own meaning within the story and lore of the game. What I was going to add to it as well is this whole time you're trying to avoid being caught, and at the first opening of the game, it almost seems like that's not a threat, and it's just the game teaching the player how to play the game, how to walk around, what you're supposed to do. But I think there's going to be like a Mr. X type of person where there's, just like in Squid Game, there's one person and he has infiltrated your facility and you don't know where this person is going to be at any given time. But they're always, as a CPU, they're going to be running around kind of like Juliana in Deathloop. They're going to be like running around. You just don't know where they are, who they are, what person might be them. And so maybe that's where your scanning comes in handy, where if you scan them, maybe their biometrics are off and you're like, that's my spy. And then you have to try and go catch him or whatever.
That'd be fun.
Or avoid being caught by them. You know what I mean?
So what do you think if this story, like the way we make it progress and make it interesting, is like a K-drama in a casino, death casino? I think it would work.
Yeah.
Like K-drama writing, except there isn't. I think that would make it entertaining. It has to just have good writing. That, or I'm thinking like an HBO show.
Yeah.
Because this is a wacky premise.
No, I agree. I think obviously your people aren't going to talk that much, but there is going to be voiced lines for the NPCs around you. So I think that does have, it's not going to be like all the other games where the NPCs are like, hey, Watch it. It's
I'm
gonna
walking
be
here.
a hard day today. Like that type of stuff. Like
Hey. And just like everyone just is like in a state of just heightened aggression for some reason.
I think the side conversations has to be more like Life is Strange, where if you sit and listen, you'll get something out of all the conversations that are happening around you,
Right.
In terms of progression throughout the game, I guess, like, what are you doing? How are you getting to the next step, the next quest? How do you get to the end?
It's going to be like a treadmill thing where, not a treadmill, but it's going to be like guiding you through where you're going to get more and more authority and commands that you can use, where not only can you use it to like hack the base and go into certain places, I think, that are hidden based off of your power level and how much you unlock. I think on top of that is how you can command more and more troops to do more and more unique things that have higher attack power so that you can get to that spy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The thing is, it sounds like this is going to be a pretty short game.
I think we can make it, if we made it like 9 hours, it could be a very thrilling 9 hours where you're like, that was a ride. Everyone's got to try that once.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I guess I'm fine with 9 hours. I just feel like at 9 hours, it'll start just getting kind of boring. But
I think that's when we'll start introducing the casino and the face cards and at that next layer. That'll be like that time skip place in the story where it really takes off.
Yeah.
Where the mystery's gone, but now you're running a cool anime K-drama style casino where things are going to happen, or, something like that.
Right. Yeah, I kind of see it like a mix between Deathloop meets Hitman meets like
yeah, that's how I see it too, because then we'll have the face cards which you have to beat one-on-one because they're all trying to take your spot.
Yeah.
Or two are trying to collaborate, so you're going to be wanting to kill them while the spy is also moving around.
Is that also part of the story where all the heads are trying to vie for the golden mask? Like that's like something that's happening?
That everyone's trying to kill each other. Yeah. And then we'll even have it where during the course of the story, if you take out Jack, right, Queen will change spots maybe once or twice as different people kill, and then they take over their spot. Because it's always somebody trying, like the suits are all trying to climb up.
If that's the case, what if we make it more that each suit is... What if we make it so this facility is ran by 4 different organizations and each suit runs a different game, right? And there's one leader who runs the entire casino, but any suit can take that role. And so you start off as, I don't know, one of the diamond little people, but you just happen upon the golden mask one day. But then you start unfolding this story between all the drama, between all the 4 heads of each suit, the king, Jack, ace, and queen.
So what's your position going to be?
You're the leader. You're the golden mask. You're the Joker.
So the golden mask is, you're going to have to be the Joker. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you'll find out that all the masks are trying to kill, and you don't know why the golden mask wasn't taken after the last time, and you're trying to figure that part out. Maybe the golden mask was killed by the detective that's infiltrated and is like lurking around type of thing. And then maybe up until then, this golden mask has been in rule of this underground club for years at this point.
And I think, I think at the climax of the story, you're going to find out that the golden mask actually didn't die. He killed somebody else and just planted the mask on him to see if someone would discover it and what would happen. And he's just been watching in the shadows.
Yeah, something like that.
All right. So do you think with all that going into like half of the game, the 9 hours is justified?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a way to make this go out to 9 hours. It just, in my head, it feels like it should be shorter,
Like
but
what, like 6 hours?
yeah, more like in the 6 hour range. But like 9 hours, if there's like good cutscenes and interactions throughout. But I feel like 6 hours if there's just, it's just mostly gameplay. You know what I mean? Which in my head, this was mostly gameplay.
Yeah, I could see that. I don't mind it being 6 hours. That's cool. I think that'd be a good 6 hour game. What type of music are you listening to? Hear me out.
Yeah, go for
What
it.
if the casino has a house band where they're all dressed up and it's like their masks are also unique
Yeah,
to and their suits are unique and it's just that music playing throughout the whole casino?
I'm down with that. But they're going to have like at
It's got to
least
be a really
14 songs.
so we're gonna have to do this K-pop band is gonna have to make 14 songs and they're gonna be featured. We're gonna capture them in suits playing these 14 songs and put into the game.
Yeah, I'm down with that. Have like a, what
So
are they
there's a
called?
room where there's
DNA?
always them where they're all and they're all playing in a concert throughout the whole game and there's a room where you can visit them in between doing different stuff.
And then sure, yeah, that's fine. And then maybe
6 hours is a lot of music.
when you
Where
go,
are we gonna have different bands? Should we have different bands while I think about it?
no, I think we'll have
That's
one
like a
band
discography.
doing that, and then they'll be playing
The
through
songs just repeat.
loudspeakers in all the main rooms. But then in the corridors, we'll have like eerie strings just playing all the time. You know what I mean? Like just kind of a score just happening when you're not hearing the music. And then when you enter into music, it'll always be playing at a different thing because I think it would just be on a loop the entire time. But yeah, I think it'll be fine. Maybe we'll have like two bands and they'll both. Maybe we'll have one band and then we'll have like a DJ that plays at the night times or whatever, and then it would be like remixes and stuff like that. I don't know, something like that. Like add like a different.
I think it'd be cool if because it's a casino, we do quote unquote live music with different bands. I just don't know how to implement it. And it doesn't have to be bands necessarily, but musical acts.
Okay, how about this? How about then we contract out to get like multiple types of music. We'll have like 16 songs from 16 different artists, big and small, right? Make unique songs just for this. And then on top of that, the musical acts will only happen maybe after each major event happens. So survival just ended. Maybe all the gambling happens at the same time. And so it's on like a rotational clock. And after each one, they play a musical act. But in between, when the games are happening, there's just a classical band that's all in suits. And that's the house band. And they're just playing classical music.
Yeah, I'm cool with that too. That works. Pricing. What are we paying for this game? Ultra good looking, band having 6 hour strong story.
I mean, at first,
That's
I thought it was
only
going to
be on new consoles.
Yeah. At first, I thought it was only going to be $40 or something. But then we added the band situation and that shot it straight up to full price.
I want it to be stylish. $70. All right, Jay, get your timer out because we're going to name this game.
Go. Deck of cards. House of cards. That's what the fucking saying is. House of Cards.
There's already a show called House of Cards.
Is there a game called House of Cards, Alex?
Is that how that works?
No, I don't know. I don't think that's how it works.
I wish. Um, I don't know, because now I do want to do something kind of like deck themed. I'm looking up Joker card deck saying to see if I can find anything here.
Nothing like, I don't know. I mean, that was the first thing I said.
Nothing like Queen's Gambit, right?
Right, right. But that was called that because there's a chess move called the Queen's Gambit.
Okay, I think we'll just choose a winning poker hand and then we'll go with that.
Like a flush?
That
the
doesn't
royal
sound
flush.
I don't think we should have the word flush in our game.
Well, that's the best hand, royal flush. Flush is like high up there. You don't want like a 4 of a kind, or like you definitely don't want to call it a pair or 3 of a kind. Like if you're gonna call it something,
house, can we?
You got to call it one of the better hands. Yeah, like full house, 4 of a kind, straight flush.
How about this? What if we just call it high card?
Sure, high card in 1 minute 50.
And that's the name of the casino.
Yeah. Yeah.
You cool with that?
I'm cool with that.
All right. Now that we have a complete game, what game studio would you assign to be able to make high card the best?
I mean, there's several. I would go with like Arcane. I would go with even Ubisoft for the Watchdog vibes from it. We give it to Supermassive, so make this more like a Quarry, like choose your own adventure type of situation with a little bit more of an action focus. There's multiple ways to go about this.
I was thinking even you could give it to DICE or Motive or Criterion Studios. They can, like the people under EA, and they can make a pretty dope game too and make it look really, really good.
I'm also trying to see if there's any like big,
you know what I wish
Korean
happened?
People, but I don't think there is.
You know what I wish happened? That this is the game that Rockstar and Take-Two release in between. You know, where they do like a test for different mechanics, like how they did with Bully for their next Grand Theft Auto game and a sub game. Where they're like, oh yeah, that game, we used 6 hours to really test our graphics engine and our NPC conversations to make sure that they were interesting and compelling so that we could multiply that into a city.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. What if we give it to, I think, Japan Studio? Specifically because of Gravity Rush.
Specifically for Gravity Rush.
Yeah. I mean, Japan Studio has some interesting, weird games out there, you know? Nothing this dark,
most definitely.
That's for sure. But
it'll be a change of pace for most devs. How do you think the rating would do? Do you think that'd be fine, what we're showing? They're all 18. They're 18.
There's some pretty gross games out there. I'm pretty sure we get it with an M rating dependent on how other developers jump around getting an M rating for some of the stuff I've seen. Like Last of Us gets pretty gnarly, part 1 and 2.
Yeah, it does. Now that I think about it, that club scene's something else.
Yeah. So I'm sure there's workarounds to get rated fine.
You're right. And with that, our 216th IP has gone gold. We hope you look forward to this experience that will probably never release. We have a Patreon. If you'd like to give us extra support, please head over to patreon.com/wearenotgamedevs. For just $1, patrons receive episodes early and an extra podcast at the beginning, which you caught the tail end of our conversation at the beginning of this episode. That's patreon.com/wearenotgamedevs. like, rate, and subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. And if they ask for a review instead of reviewing our show, become your inner game critic and review High Card, the video game we just created. Thank you for joining us today. We'll be back next Friday with another new IP. Again, my name is AG.
And I'm J.E.
Thank you, and please remember that we are not game devs.
We
What if we went for the sequel and then you find out there's other casinos?
Oh.
And then you have to start challenging them.
It's like a
but then,
Westworld situation.
And then, yeah, you find out that there's 4 Jokers.
Well, there's only 2 in a deck, I think. Pretty sure that's right.
Only 2 in a deck. So maybe in the next one, you're just going against another Joker.
Yeah. We skipped a couple portions. We skipped would you play it and is it fun and the overview.
God damn it. Okay. Would you play it? Is it fun?
Yeah, but what's High Card about, Alex?
High Card is a game where it's hard to describe. It's a first-person simulation game where you command different units in a mysterious organization, and you must get to the bottom of what you're doing. Why are you there? What is this company doing? Why are so many people dying? And why is somebody after you in High Card? Is that a game that you would play, Jay? Would you think that's fun?
Yeah, I think it's fun. What about you?
I think it'd be fun the first time around. I think it's one of those games where you're like, that was great. What, like a short story? Thanks for tuning in and staying all the way to the end, guys.